Tu as peur de moi parce que chaque fois je te regarde, je vois ton vrai toi, ton toi, toutes les choses que tu caches.
Hi guys, please do not judge my hair or my face. I just got out of the shower right now, blow dried my hair, and I just wanted to do a quick intro for this video. Today I am doing 4 holiday gift ideas, and they're all DIY, super budget friendly, trendy, easy, minimal. They're just really nice gifts, and you can add these on to other gifts or you can give them as standalone gifts. And I tried to make them super quick and easy, so if you wanted to make multiple or mass of them to give to like all of your friends or your teachers or your family members or whatever it may be, you can do so. But yeah, I hope you guys can gain some inspiration from this video. But I also want to mention that on my Instagram during the month of December, I am doing a lot of Instagram giveaways just to give you guys a couple holiday presents for the holiday season. So I've already given away one of these fall raven. I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce this, so please do not kill me in the comment section. I'll put it on the screen for you guys. I'm giving away a mustard colored backpack, and you guys can enter that. It's going until December 20th if you want to enter that giveaway. And I'm also doing another giveaway and another one and another one. So I have multiple more coming, so make sure to follow my Instagram. Over the next couple of weeks, leading up to Christmas and a little bit past Christmas, I'm going to be doing more Instagram giveaways, so make sure to follow my Instagram if you want to join in on those giveaways. But I just wanted to let you guys know about that because I haven't yet. And yeah, let's get into these DIYs. So let's kick it off with these little trinket bowls that I made, and I love how organic these look. So all you're gonna need is a rolling pen, some air dry clay, parchment paper, a circle cutter, and then a texture of your choice, and you'll see what I mean by that. So I started off by laying out a piece of parchment paper and getting a large clump of the air dry clay in my hand, and I just warmed it up a little bit, squeezed it in between my palms, and then decided to roll it out with a rolling pen. This was really nice because it actually didn't stick to the rolling pen at all, which I was quite surprised. And I used the top of a Bath & Body Works lid that I pulled the inner lining out of, and I used that to cut a circle shape out of the clay. And after that, I did use a knife just to kind of cut around the edge and get it out of that lid. So then you're gonna basically have a circle piece of air dry clay. And I was gonna originally make coasters with these, but I actually thought the trinket tray idea was really, really amazing after I did it. So for this first one, I laid it on top of a textured plate and then on top of a bowl. And this is how you're gonna get that trinket tray look, or trinket little bowl. So what I did was I flipped a bowl over and I just kind of pressed it on the top of it, and I made sure that I really defined the base, as you can see here, so that it had something to sit on. And then I sort of really created an organic shape with it and let it dry overnight. And after that's all dry, I painted it with a pearlescent paint, and I really love the finish of this paint. So it's just like a pearlized white, which gives it that mother of pearl sort of vibe. And then I mixed a little bit of coral and white paint together, and I just painted one of the trinket trays with a little bit of the coral, just to show you another take if you wanted to add a bit of color. And that is a little Anthro-inspired catch-all. When I was thinking of ideas for this video, I thought a coffee scrub would be perfect for the person that loves to pamper themselves or just feel refreshed. So all you're gonna need is some coconut oil, brown sugar, and coffee grounds, and then just a couple mixing bowls and something to put it in the end. So the recipe for this coffee scrub is super straightforward. All you're going to need is a half cup of the coffee grounds, and I just used coffee grounds from the store. And you're just gonna pour that in a mixing bowl, and then I used a half cup of brown sugar. And brown sugar's quite a bit nicer than typical sugar because it's not as exfoliating. So if you have sensitive skin, use brown sugar. But if you want a more deeper exfoliating, you can use like a raw sugar, or you can just use a typical white sugar. And then you're gonna use a 1/4 cup of coconut oil. And coconut oil is super, super hydrating and beneficial for the skin. So that's gonna really give you that moisture and lock it in. And then the coffee bean is actually gonna act as sort of like a skin plumper, and it's gonna give you that caffeine boost in your skin as well, which is quite nice. And you're gonna mix it all together. And I used my hands. I found that it was just quite a bit easier using your hands to do this. And once you have it all mixed together, that is your coffee scrub. It's super easy to make, and you're just gonna put it in a jar. I found this one at Target for just like $2, and I just loved the sort of vintage vibe of it. And I just spooned the coffee scrub inside of the jar, and then the top seals it shut. And this is good for quite a while. I honestly couldn't tell you how long it's gonna be great for, but I do know if you use it like maybe a couple times a week, you'll be fine. And I just tied a little ribbon on it just for that gift giving vibe. And this knot I love doing. It's just a simple knot if you were to just tie a simple knot, but when you have a thick ribbon like this, it looks quite nice. And if you just fold the ribbon over in half and cut at a diagonal as you see here, you're actually gonna get like this little wicked edge sort of a look, and I love the way that that looks. So I think this gives it that very Christmassy vibe, and this is a perfect gift. I would love to receive this. next project is super cost friendly, but it's also a substantial gift, especially when it's handmade for somebody, which I love, and it's these beaded bracelets. So all you're gonna need is a pair of pliers. You're also going to need some beads, and this is just a random mix I got at the craft store. You can get these really anywhere, and then the other tools you're gonna need are some beading wire, clasps, and crimp beads, and these can all be found in the craft store. So you're gonna first start off by cutting your beading wire to a little bit longer than your wrist size, I would double it. So if your wrist is a 7-inch wrist, I would cut it to 14 inches. You're gonna place a crimp bead on, and then you're gonna use 1/2 of your clasp and go back through the crimp bead. So it's pretty self-explanatory if you watch the screen. So you're gonna put your wire through the crimp bead, put your clasp on, and then back through the crimp bead. So you basically have this little loop, and then you're going to crimp the crimp bead with your pliers. That's what a crimp bead is. It's essentially going to hold those pieces in place so you don't have to tie any knots. Once you have that done, you can cut that extra little tail off and then bead on your beads. And I just did a random assortment of beads. You can really do whatever you want with your beads. You can get their favorite color, their birthstone, like anything you would like to do with your beading is up to you. And then you're gonna do the same thing on the opposite side. Just string on a crimp bead, go through the other end of the clasp, and then back through the crimp bead. And then you're gonna use your pliers just to crimp it down one more time. It's really self-explanatory and easy. So it's just a really nice substantial gift as well. I love making jewelry for people. Last but not least, I really wanted to include a sweet treat, and I was known for these in high school. I used to make them all the time. You're just gonna need some pretzels and some chocolate, caramel, and then just some wrapping supplies. So it's pretty self-explanatory once again. All you're gonna do is melt down your chocolate, and when you melt down chocolate, do it in 30-second increments in the microwave and then stir in between so you don't burn it. And it takes about 1.5 minutes to melt an entire bag of chocolate, as you can see here. And then I melted just a little bit of white chocolate to sort of do a white chocolate drizzle on the pretzels. And I personally like to buy the pretzel rods because I feel like in the end they always look a little bit more expensive, if that even makes sense. I just love the way that they look. I think they just look like something that would come out of a bakery or something. So all you're gonna do is just dip each one, and I typically just use a spoon and just sort of spoon it on there and then just kind of scrape off the extra, as you could see. And then you're gonna lay it on parchment paper, and parchment paper is gonna act as a non-stick surface. So once you have all of your pretzels nice and coated, you can then add toppings on them, and you can go crazy with this. You can do like cookies and cream, just like a white chocolate drizzle like I'm doing here, a salted caramel, which I'm also doing. You can really do a ton, like mint chocolate chip. There's a lot of options you could do with these pretzels, which I think is really fun as well. So I'm doing just a white chocolate drizzle on this half of the pretzels, and then on the other side, I'm going to do a salted caramel pretzel. So the pretzel's already salted, and then I'm adding a little bit of caramel down the center of each of them, and I'm just gonna top it off with a sprinkle of sea salt as well. Just a little bit because it is already a salted pretzel. And you're gonna pop these into the freezer for about an hour, and they're gonna harden up and be perfect to package. And I found this mason jar at the Dollar Tree, and I just thought they'd be cute sticking out of the top of it, tied a little bit of twine on it, and that is your gift. It's perfect for like a housewarming party or a holiday party as well.